So, hello and welcome everyone, and Happy New Year to everyone. I think you can still say that. So as you can see here, we had a fair bit of snow over the last days. Luckily, none is falling today. I am on my way down to the south of Europe, because I'm going to take part in a racing series over 3 events across France, Portugal and Spain. So it will be a nice change in terms of weather and temperatures, because it is freezing outside at the moment. So I hope the road conditions will stay stable for the trip, because yeah, here as you can see things are fine, but that doesn't have to stay that way further south. So what is this series going to be about that I'll be driving in? So I still have my works contract, of course, and what they have done is develop a new silhouette car together with one other manufacturer, and they want to launch a new series later this year, and this is basically just a sort of trial to iron out the kinks in terms of construction, etc. Over these 3 races, and also use this opportunity to test a few younger drivers such as me in that environment together with a few instructors. So it's both a full-fledged event, and they will also use this to sort of gauge interest into this series, but also then in the field of aspiring drivers, and then based on the results then we'll see what opportunities everyone will get for the rest of the year. It won't be strictly based on the sort of ranking. It's more of the overall impression, but yeah, of course the results and where we end up in the standings after 3 races will also play a big role, of course. So that's why I'm going to swap the German winter for the southern Europe, a bit warmer winter, hopefully, than for the next month. So a week of testing, and then the races back to back every week. First at Paul Ricard, second at Portimao, and the third one in Aragon. So I hope I can make it to France in one day. So as you can see, I started early, sun is low, and if I can reach Marseille, which is the biggest city close to Paul Ricard, by the time it gets dark, it's going to be fine. And I will give you an update and a preview for the first race as usual once I've raced my destination. Until then, see you on track, and remember to send it. So I'm now getting close to Marseille in southern France. You can see it's also getting dark, so it's high time. But overall, the trip was fine. A few times I was happy that this RS3 has all-wheel drive on some rough patches of the German autobahns. But further down, of course, then there was less and less snow, and as you can see here, of course, in southern France there is no snow at all. So that's great. So what's the race going to be about? So it's a Paul Ricard, but one of the shorter configurations, so including the long Mistral straight. So that's great. So what's the race? Oh, nice. A 2CV. Cool. So I'm not yet quite sure what to make of it, but we'll also get a few time to test other cars first, so everyone will have had ample practice on at the track in these silhouette cars, and then we'll see what happens. I for myself am looking forward both to a good night's rest today here in Marseille, but also then to the first testing session and the first race then afterwards. And let's see where we'll end up against all the other young Audi drivers in the field. Until then, see you on track, and remember to send it. So we are on track now. on the start-finish straight. It's a long one, as usual in Paul Ricard. So braking very late after the 50 marker, because the brakes in these things are absolutely insane. So I suspect they developed higher powered engines and brakes for these cars, and then they had lower powered engines but they kept the brakes. So you really have to unlearn all your braking points that you may know from somewhere and then brake much later. And this of course the long Paul Ricard signature. Back straight, we're going all the way. But we have to brake in the middle of this corner to make the shortcut. So this is very tricky, and there is very high load on the car. So this is a 180. And then this part, you sort of have to make the car rotate, but with the brake, something I always struggle a little bit, because this is a rear-wheel drive car, of course, and I'm not really used to that. So second to last corner, you want to hug the inside. Because this is the
lap for old power on 17.88.
Final corner, and you want to be as early on the gas, and that's already it.
Lap for Wallace on 17.22.
So many bits.
That puts you 0.6 off the pace. Sector 1 time's okay. Sector 2 is 0.31 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.7 off the pace. That lap time was on 17.81. The guy ahead has just done it on 17.57.
So you see the split is now 2 seconds down.
Is on 17.63.
But I didn't manage to bring it home. And otherwise I'm somewhere in the field, so that's great. But later in the session the others improved. I also improved.
Lap in this session, 2 laps of fuel remaining. Your last lap time was on 17.72.
But not that much, so I'm still trying to nail the first corner. So like this. So a 3/10 down. As I'm dropping down the order, so the others are getting into a rhythm, and I had a bit of issue. I couldn't really bring all entire laps together. One thing that was good, that other tires are reasonably cold since it's winter.
Your tires are cold, watch out.
But otherwise you have still, even these cold tires, insane grip, both mechanical and aero. And every corner is basically just sending it, still braking later than you would think. So here the rotation isn't ideal. So I lost all the time that I gained, or almost all the time that I gained. But this is now a bit more aggressive. And here I nail the final corner. And you see the time drops.
This is the last lap of fuel. That's your fastest lap.
Didn't help me much. But this, in the end, stayed the fastest lap that I managed to do. So, bit of a reality check that I start 15 out of 16 among all the other young drivers in the field, plus the 2 instructors. So the question is, what can I do from second to last place in the race? Because my time in practice weren't that bad.
Get ready. Let's go.
So decent start thanks to traction control. So first corner will be interesting, of course.
Right side.
So I'm staying a bit cautious.
Hold your line.
And a bit of chaos.
On the left, 3 wide. Right side is clear.
Whoa!
Incident clear.
Clear on the left.
The stewards have warned us about track limits. Keep it between the lines.
On your left.
So going around the outside
On your line.
was the right call.
Still
Then
there.
so now I'm 11th.
Still there. Stay there.
And yeah, these
Clear
cars
left now.
have a pretty high drag.
Good start.
So you need to be part of the train, but also even then overtaking is not that easy if you don't have the best exit.
Car number 15 is now leading.
So that's a much better rotation than in my last qualifying lap. But there's always, yeah, something I couldn't nail every lap. Missing the gear doesn't help either. And by the way, as you can hear, I got the spotter, the same spotter that I had in the Audi TT-RS Cup. So Micha is back. And then see whether I now can stay with the train. Having the advantage, of course, I'm not fighting for position. And yeah, this is fine. So
Ahead is now 0.9.
So since these cars have so high drag, you actually get already here a decent slipstream, even though you're not reasonably close. And that makes a difference.
Okay, Andy, the next car is Rizza, car number 33.
So always love seeing two cars side by side, because that means they're losing time. So I missed a gear here. It's still all a bit more frantic, especially in the braking zones.
Just done a 118.65.
And that's something you can't really test during testing sessions. So I need a bit of time to get back into routine in the race. So can I try something? Not really, but I can at least announce my presence. And try to, yeah, be there when they struggle and stumble.
Hold your line. Clear left.
Well done. Nice front now.
And I'm also still part of the train ahead, so that's important.
Ahead of us is Alt Power, car number 14.
To keep Rizza behind. This still always feels a bit surreal to take these flat out and then having
Car on your right.
to brake
Clear right.
too late in air quotes with
Rear brakes are cold, mate.
all normal
Your right
race
sides
cars.
are cold.
But these are not normal race cars, and that's great. So they're very easy to drive for that reason.
On
And
your left. Left side is clear now. On your right. Right side is clear now.
broke into the top 10. One more good exit.
Car left. Stay there. Stay on your line. Still there. Left is clear now. Car on your left. Hold your line.
Yeah, the outside line surprisingly
Stay
works.
there.
And I was a bit
Still there.
surprised by that, so that's why he
Still there.
can
Clear left.
drive away. I can go back into the slipstream, and that makes a difference.
Car on your left.
But as soon as you
Hold your
lose
line.
at these high speeds,
Left
as
is
soon
clear now.
Cold tyres, we need to get some heat into them.
as soon as you get out of the slipstream, you are hit by the wall
On
of
your
air,
left. Left side is clear.
and then you're back to square one.
Okay, Andy, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
So not really making a lot of headway here. And this course doesn't offer many opportunities. Oh, and left that door open,
Left
so
is clear. Car left. Clear on the left now.
but at least I can stand in the way. Because this course mostly consists of straights, so there isn't actually...
Yes, we can go faster here. 10th position. You've just done a 119.25.
There aren't that many areas per lap where you really can make a difference. It's just hitting the right braking points, and always, at least I have to override my brain braking so late. So different position in the slipstream. This now, because now I have a much higher
Left side.
surplus at speed. But
Hold your
again,
line.
that wall of air that you hit
Still
here
there.
doesn't. And this is also the car from the other manufacturer, and they might have a bit better engines. So balance of performance hasn't been finalized. So finally a good rotation here.
Your right tyres are cold. Your lap time was 1:18.22.
And I was a bit closer last lap, so I actually lost a bit.
Yellow flag.
And yeah, trouble ahead. And I'm stuck. I don't want to reverse since I don't know who's there, but okay.
Car on your left.
Alright Andy, we need to give this place back.
The left side is clear.
Green flag, you're clear.
So that counted apparently as overtaking under yellow. Wasn't entirely sure why. Was just trying to clear the track as fast as possible, but ruling is ruling.
Sector 1.
Still there.
Okay, that's enough.
The left is clear. On your right. Hold
So
your line. Clear on the right.
So in effect, I gained one place, but of course lost several seconds to the folks ahead. So I would only be able to gain one place at best. And now everyone has a clean track here. So
Car on your right.
if I'm going to catch up,
Hold
then
your
this will
line. Right
this will
side is clear now.
and this will
Guy
be
in front is Guilo. Car number 7. P9.
so if I catch up, then this will be on merit, and I have to defend also because there are a bunch of folks behind. And one thing I started to miss here would be a normal rearview mirror, but apparently these rearview screens are now all the rage, so yeah, had to get used to that as well. Where to dart my eyes to the right.
Your tyres are cold, watch out. The gap to Wallace behind is increasing. It's now 0.8.
That was useful to hear, and also I didn't damage the car at all. One of the advantages of the very strong brakes, that I could stop in time not to
The leader has just done it on 17.66.
hit the car ahead. Except I think I gave it a gentle nudge.
The car ahead has just done it on 17.62. Halfway home, we've got plenty of fuel. Okay Andy, you've got half your fuel left.
Yeah, so we seem to be doing exactly the same lap times, the car ahead and myself. So yeah, this is then basically just more like running away from the folks behind. Because I'm also not really in the slipstream here. That's, I think, barely outside it.
Keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us. 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. You're reeling, Guilo in. The gap is 1.2 seconds.
One advantage that this had
This lap for Kuivanen on 17.35.
was that I could finally get into a decent rhythm without the extra pressure during qualifying to finally tie a lap together.
The lap time was at on 17.62.
So if anything, this was a good extended sort of practice session under race conditions. To have to stop thinking too much about what the car might do and just knowing in advance, and then be the a fraction of a second earlier on the gas or later on the brake, when it's not about waiting what does the car do, but rather knowing what the car will do and just anticipating and pushing down or releasing the pedal. So missed the gear again, but that's a big challenge with these strong brakes. You have to be very frantic shifting down.
Georgie, car number 15, is leading the race.
So it's very easy to be in the wrong gear for a corner.
Lap times are improving, this is good.
And fun fact, this lap was better than my best qualifying lap. So that was a bit frustrating to see in the end.
The gap in front is now 1.0 seconds.
So making slight gains, but not enough to make any impression.
P9. To go, 2 minutes.
Yeah, so no, probably not much more is going to happen, unfortunately.
The guy in front has just done a 117.36.
And as you can see, the lap time is coming down, and so that's really an effect of being more and more one with the car on this track. And being able to position exactly and not just roughly where you want it. And these nuances is the only chance on this rather easy track with not many corners per lap where you can actually then gain time. So I guess most others had an easier time getting these nuances down than I had. So my learning curve must have been larger.
One more lap to go. That last lap was a 117.19.
And also on the plus side, if we look at the distances compared to those guys way ahead of us, we actually made some good headway, both Guillaume and myself on them. But of course we lost too many seconds in that pile-up. So that we couldn't do anything in the 10 or so minutes that we actually had. So I missed this corner a bit on the last attempt, but it didn't really matter. And also held the distance to the guy behind me.
And there's the finish. Good result, mate. Well done.
Well, yeah, since I started second to last and finished 9th, that's I think alright. So what I can be happy with looking at the results is the fastest lap that I have, because that's way up there. But of course I'm not really happy with not just 9th place overall, so I have to do better at the next race. So now I got an early start on the next day for the long drive to the southern coast of Portugal, and I will certainly make a stop somewhere in Spain, because it's way too long to drive in just one go. And I think I also need some time to reflect on the past test and racing weekend, which didn't exactly turn out ideal, with just a 9th place, but in a very competitive field. So maybe last year's series sort of flattered me a little bit compared to where I am actually in terms of my current skill and experience level. And now this a reality check is maybe what I need, and then I need to seriously step up my game to stay competitive. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's all for now, and I'll focus on the long drive ahead, and probably will give you a brief update once I reach my destination for the day. So Buenas tardes from close to Valencia, where I will make my evening stop, because you see the sun is going down, and I think also my concentration is a little bit going down after basically all day on the road with a few short stops on the way. It's still very relaxing to drive this company car here, and with the speed limits 130 in France and 120 in Spain. It's a rather relaxing way of driving, so not the battlefield, that's the German Autobahn, but still, there's still a long way to go till the south coast of Portugal, so I figure now is a good time as any to find a good place to rest. And with that, see you on track, and remember to send it